Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. If this is your first time listening, my name is Jeremiah Krakowski and I help coaches and trainers grow their businesses to 7 and 8 figures. But even if you're not making that much money yet or wanting to make that much money yet, it sounds like it's too much, I help people go from 0 to making 6 figures all the way up the chain. And so if you need help growing your business as a coach or trainer, I show you how to get more clients and make more money. And I've been doing it for 19 years. I've been helping coaches and trainers scale their businesses to tens of millions of dollars. This podcast is all about that, using online direct response marketing and social media to do so. Now, today, we're going to talk about what to say in your social media videos. The truth is, video is the number one format right now on social media, on the internet in general, and it's only going to become more so. I have a course on my website called Social Media Content Creation Made Easy. You can find it over at jeremiahkrakowski.com under courses, Social Media Content Creation Made Easy. And it's a definitive course as to like what you should say. You also get a whole archive of my courses, not courses, a whole archive of my social media posts. That's what it is. By the way, I don't edit this podcast. I just click record and let it go. And that's part of my methodology is, my friends, you shouldn't worry about making mistakes as part of life. If you're a coach, if you're a trainer, and you're worried about saying everything perfect and sounding perfect and saying all the right things all the time, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose out and you're gonna go nuts and you're not gonna make any money as a coach or trainer, okay? So give yourself some grace. And that's one of the number one things when it comes to making video on social media. One of the first lessons I tell people, don't worry about it being perfect. Don't worry about it getting the perfect result. I've worked with dozens of people where they literally will not post on social media unless it's perfect for whatever reason. In working with them, I honestly think that they need to possibly go to therapy for that. That it may have to do with mental health reason why they struggle to even communicate like a normal person on video, okay? And if that's you, it's no shame in that. There's a lot of great resources out there. Find somebody to talk to. Usually the reason why we're afraid is something inside of us, some kind of belief, something is telling us that bad, horrible, painful things will happen if we don't do everything perfect. Okay? So that's really like the foundation when it comes to, and I know I just dove right in there on the deep end with you on this, but that's one of the biggest things, my friends, is you have to get past whatever that is inside your brain that's telling you that you got to be perfect on social media to make videos, that you got to look perfect, that you got to sound perfect, that you got to say all the perfect words. Okay? I get it. We've had people tell us stuff our whole life. Especially, I have a lot of women that follow me. I think it's 1,000 times harder for women. But I know that you can't let that stop you from impacting people. And if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, and you got something inside of you, and you want to help people, and you want to impact them with your content, you can't let that stop you. You can't let how you feel stop you from reaching people, from building the business that you want to build. The people that I know that are successful at making content and using it and growing a platform. Some of you know my mom. She's got millions of people on her social media. Another one of my clients, Rick Pino. Listen, perfection is the last thing they think about when they post on social media. And it's the number one thing that I see that stops people is just worrying about it being perfect. Now, if that's not your worry, you're like, that's not my worry. I'm okay with it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Imperfect action is what it takes. But you just don't know what to say. That's what this episode is for, is what should we say in our videos? Well, how should we make video content? And it's kind of, again, tied to a little bit of that. But it's a common thing. Most people are like, what should I say? I'm going to answer that question for you. In as few words as possible and as simply as possible, your content can be anything related to what your target customer cares about. Now, who is your target customer? Well, you find that out by answering, there's a few simple questions you can answer, and I actually have now, it's called a recipe for Jasper.ai. We use Jasper.ai to come up with all of our copy and even a lot of our social media content, and it's based off of these questions right here. So you answer, who is your customer? What problem do they have? What solution do you offer them? What does your methodology, the way that you deliver that result, help? What's the best case scenario? Like your top 0.5% of dream customers, the dream result that they would want. What keeps them up at night? What are they afraid of? What are their top 3 daily frustrations? What are their built-in biases? And what do they secretly desire that they won't tell anybody else about when it relates to success and their ultimate goals? And anything else related to their personality. And this actually comes from my years of experience, but there's actually a book that I would highly recommend for you called The Ultimate Sales Letter. I know we're talking about social media content. The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy is it's an easy read book about this topic. And the very first chapter is specifically about what to do before writing your sales letter. You got to start with reverse engineering who your customer is. Okay? So you have to figure out, you got to get into the mind of the customer. It's actually chapter 1. And answer these questions, the market diagnosis profiling questions. And once you know that, you kind of have this profile of who is the most likely person to buy from you, you know? So it could be women that are in menopause that want to feel sexy and not afraid to be themselves and live the life of their dreams, maybe lose 10 pounds without sacrificing their career, working hours in the gym, or cooking food all day long, or starving themselves, okay? Like that's one of my clients' examples, right? But you don't want to make all of your content to be about that thing that you do. And this is where it gets really fun. You want your content related to not what you do, but who the person is. Who is that person? Everything starts with who first. All your products, your offers, the way you sell, and your social media content, and what to say on videos. And so when you're making video content, now almost all of our video content that we're making is, I'm either doing a podcast like this, about 20 to 30 minutes long, where I'm actually doing a whole teaching. I'll have a recorded course, or I'll do a boot camp of some kind that's maybe a couple hours long. So that's long form video content. And that's a little bit easier because you figure out the exact goal and you break it down step by step. You take time to break it down. That's actually not that difficult to do, especially when you have some notes to go off of. The hard part is, how do you take all of that information and condense it down to reach your target customer? So social media is one of the best ways to reach your target customer. Instagram and TikTok. Okay? So if you go over to my Instagram right here, you can see I have these short videos that I do on my Instagram. All of them are under a minute long. And over on my TikTok, I got the same thing going on. Okay? So I got these short videos where I'm speaking to my target customer and stuff that relates to them, that I want them to know, that I want them to learn, that's going to help them, that's going to help them reach their goals. But most of my videos, here's the big part. Most of my videos have nothing to do with what I'm actually selling. They have everything to do with who my target customer is. A coach or a trainer that wants to get more customers, make more money in their business. And so that's who I think about. And all of my content is based around, what does that person care about the most? Okay? So if you are a coach or trainer, or even if you're watching this and you're in e-commerce, or you have an agency, think about your customer. Who gives you their money? What do they care about? What are they dealing with in life? What is preventing them from making the decision to take action with you? What is stopping them from reaching their goals? And this is where a lot of, especially coaches and trainers, miss it, because they're like, well, if I gave all that away, I'd have nothing to sell. You gotta flip your thinking. Like I just flipped my hat. You gotta flip your thinking on this. You want to give away your best content for free. And I hear people, they tell me, well, but I spent years learning that. Why would I give away what cost me millions to learn? My friends, if you want to be successful as a coach or trainer, this is how you do it. And for the last 19 years, this is what we've taught people to do. This is what has helped. This is what has worked. And it produces the most profitable financial results. So you can choose to stay broke and not do this out of your own pride and ego. I probably lost some listeners on that one. They'll stay broke. Or you can decide to give your best content for free. And you lay it all out there on social media, including the stuff you charge for. Now you might say, people would say, well, then what do I have to charge for? The same stuff. All the stuff that's in my paid courses is also on my social media, is also in my podcast. But it's not organized in the same way. It's not put into a specific format. Most of the people on my social media don't get a lot of results off of social media. Does that mean that I'm a failure? No, it doesn't. My social media, see, the goal of your social media videos is to attract who your target customer is, to draw them in. So then you can promote to them your offers that you have for sale. And then you sell them something. And so what's the fastest, best way to attract the person who's actually going to buy what you sell? By giving them the thing that they want the most on your social media in bite-sized chunks. And so you might say, well, I don't know what that is that they want. Well, then you haven't worked with enough people. I'm just being real. If you work with enough clients, if you talk with enough people, you'll know exactly what they want. I didn't know what customers wanted. I knew what I thought they cared about and what I had some skill set in the beginning. But it wasn't until I started working with thousands of coaches and trainers. And now I'm like, I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they need to do. And I know exactly how to lead them there. And so some of y'all just need to get more at-bats under you. Start working with some people. Start connecting with some people. Start building a clientele. And start talking to those people more and more. And they will literally tell you what they want. And then all you do is, on your content, you literally give them what they asked you for. You literally give them the solution to the problem that they asked you about. I did this, this podcast episode right here came out of a coaching call that I did. I polled my audience. It was the second most desired podcast episode this month that they wanted me to do. So I'm recording it. I didn't have to think. You know, I've had a lot of people, they actually get offended by that. They're like, wow, you took our conversation and turned it into a piece of content? Well, yeah, I didn't say your name. They're like, well, yeah, but like, I thought that was our private conversation. I'm sorry, my friends, like, if you're in the industry and we connect, I'm going to use all of our conversations as content. Some people have a mental stigma against doing that for what, I'm not sure why. I'm not identifying anybody's personal information when I do that. But for whatever it is, maybe they want credit, maybe, I don't know. Again, that's an ego issue. That's a kind of a pride issue. I don't know. And that's the third part that I'm going to get to. Listen, if you're going to be successful as a coach or trainer, you're going to piss people off. You're going to upset people. You're going to make them, there's going to be a whole segment of people that just don't like how you do things. You rub them wrong. You make them feel bad just by being you. By me talking right now, I make a segment of the market of coaches and trainers not feel very comfortable. And I'm not afraid of that. I want to work with the ones that love what I'm talking about. Because there's a whole segment of people they're like, you guys are loving what I'm saying right now, too. Because I'm shooting straight. And that's who I work with. That's who becomes my customer. That's who becomes my client. Okay? And so what you do is when you make content, when you make these videos, again, Instagram and TikTok is where it's at with video. I do Facebook videos a lot less than we used to. You can get organic followers. This is all organic in this last probably 6 months. Because now I can go live on here. And I can run ads through TikTok. I have an upcoming course all about that I'm just now finishing up, buttoning up the final lessons on for TikTok ads. On how to reach people that are course creators and coaches through TikTok with my courses, with my trainings. And so what content should you put on your videos? It's anything that will attract if you got somebody that is your target customer, they're scrolling through your social media and they see your video and they're like, oh wow, they're speaking exactly to me about the exact thing that I care about. That's what you make your content about. Now, not about 20% of the time I go outside of that, like this right here, Metaverse, right? I'm really passionate about the Metaverse. I think that all course creators and trainers are going to have to operate in the Metaverse in the next 10 to 15 years. So that's a big reason why I seed it into my content, because I think it's going to be a huge part of our everyday life and Web 3.0. But right now it's not, but I seed some of that into my content because I think it's a very valuable part of that. And so it's not like I have nothing to sell related to the Metaverse. I have nothing to sell related to copywriting. I have nothing to sell related to prospects' pain points. Maybe I do with my offer course. Most of what I talk about isn't related to what I'm actually selling at all. But it's the exact lessons that my target customer needs to reach their goals. So step out there. Stop being afraid to give away your best content for free. Stop gatekeeping and holding back your best content. And start sharing it on social media, and you're going to be surprised how well it does. Now, if you're hearing me say this and you're still like, but you didn't tell me what to say. Okay, here goes. Make a list of topics that your target customer cares about. 3 topics. I'm sure you can come up with that, right? Like, if you can't, again, you need to work with more customers. 3 topics. Make a short video with a hook related to what those customers care about and tell a story. One of the best things to do is to personalize it. You know, I used to struggle to get sales online. When I finally learned about how to strategically talk to my target customer, how to confidently make videos, I was able to make the best content that gets the most engagement. So that's a video that you could post. Now that's kind of generic. You want to get very specific about that. When I learned exactly how to speak to the niche of customer, our sales went up by 300% when I started talking to not just online business owners, but coaches. Okay, now here's another way that I could do that. You know, I was marketing to coaches, but I was actually losing money by advertising without talking to the exact customer that I wanted. I realized I needed to mention that I work with people with social media based marketing, because I don't do anything that's not related to social media and the internet. See? So by getting specific about that and telling my story and documenting my story in that, I'm able to share from my perspective what I learned, which is a lesson that my customer can use. Now, here's something really cool. In Jasper, again, Jasper AI, I recommend this to everybody. And you can get a free trial of it. There's actually a way that you can generate a script like this. Okay? So I'm going to show you for your videos how to use Jasper to generate a script. So I have a recipe right here. It's basically a three-step, it's a three-part recipe. It's really simple. I might add a third part. Write a video script based on the above. There. Okay. So if we do this, let's just put women who are struggling to find friends who support them, who are single and child-free. They need help learning to connect, feel like they don't have people who support them. Okay? There's another client of mine, kind of similar topic. So we're going to have Jasper write a PAS, problem, agitate, solution. It can be hard to find friends who support you, especially if you're a single woman who doesn't have kids. You can feel like you're alone in your struggles and don't have anyone to connect with. We've created a safe place for women to connect with. Come join our community. Okay, now write a paragraph based on the above. It can be difficult to find that. Okay, I'm actually going to add this right here. Write a creative story in the first person based on the above. I was feeling alone. I had just moved to a new city and didn't have any friends. I was struggling to find people that supported me, especially since I was single and didn't have kids. I felt like I was alone in my struggles. Okay? Generate a list of YouTube video titles. Finding friends who support you. Single and child-free women's group. Connecting with others who understand. Write a video script based on the above. Hi, and I'm a single woman who doesn't have kids. It can be hard to find friends who support you, especially if you're like me and don't have kids. That's why I want to tell you about a group that I actually found. We're all connecting together and supporting each other. We laugh, we cry, we share stories. So like these gives you ideas for scripts that you can use, and Jasper generated all of that right there. Okay? So you can use Jasper to come up with what you actually say with your content just by typing in those questions right there, and you can use this to learn how to do that. I'm actually going to copy this right here into the recipe. I've still been working on the recipe. That's why I haven't released it fully. There we go. Yeah, that's the recipe. That'll help you generate some really great social media content ideas. Right there. I'll try to include a link to it on my podcast and my website. JeremiahKrakowski.com. I'll link to that recipe because I think that that's a really good one. Okay? You go to JeremiahKrakowski.com/podcast. You can find all the show notes and the links right there. Okay? So when it comes to like what you should say in your content, how you should make video content, it's all about learning how to tell your story in a way that connects with who your target customer is. And so you draw people in by personalizing it and sharing the outcome, the result that you got and that you learned. And then you put that on your videos. Now, the more you do that, you're going to find certain videos pop. Certain videos get more engagement. And so when you notice certain videos are getting more engagement, here's the easiest thing in the book that you can do. You just make more videos like the one that got a lot of engagement around that specific thing. And you make less videos about the topics that got less engagement, because they relate to who your target customer is. So like I find topics like boundaries and learning how to say no and not people please are huge, because coaches and trainers, if they want to build a business successfully, got to break past people pleasing and learn how to set healthy boundaries. because it's going to make their lives better and they're going to be more successful in the process. Okay? And that's how I've gotten a lot of my videos. You know, about 6 months ago, a lot of these videos on Instagram didn't have more than 50 views. Now I'm breaking the hundreds of views right now and even getting into the thousands at least once or twice a week, because I'm honing in more and more on the exact topics and the exact way to talk to my target customer to help them find those goals. Now, here's another little trick for you of what to say in your social media content. Here's the kind of the last point in this podcast episode. You're going to love this. This is why I love TikTok. Whatever topic it is that you make content on, TikTok has a search engine for. Course creators, struggling course creators. You can literally go on TikTok. Let me have it on the screen. I'm telling you, this is how you're going to come up with some great video content. You type in whatever your topic is. Once you figure out those topics, struggling course creators. Literally, some of my best videos come this way. And you look at the top videos for that search term. And you watch how did they make their content? What did they say? Okay. And so you're able to literally look at some of the top videos related to the topic that you're wanting to make content on. But now here's the cool thing. The TikTok app takes it to an even better level. Okay? And I'm actually going to edit this into the video right here. I'm going to press record on my phone, and I'm going to show you this on the TikTok app. Watch this. This is like going to blow your mind. Okay, so you go to search right here. Type in coaching business, okay? There's filters in the upper corner. And you can filter videos that were just posted this week to find some of the most relevant, up-to-date videos about the topics you searched for. You can sort by most liked. Now, sometimes when you sort by most liked, they don't have anything to do with your topic, so just be aware of that. How to actually do self-care.
But did you know that most people are actually doing self-care wrong? Okay, so there's this thing called 5 love languages. And so it talks about the love languages that you can use with your partner.
Oh, that's incredible.
You figure out your love language and then also your love language of your partner. So the thing I want to...
So that gave me an idea now. Just that video right there, top video. I need to, because I talk about self-care for coaches and trainers, I should totally make my own take on how the love languages connect with self-care. You might be like, well, aren't you copying that girl's idea? Yeah. And it works. I'm not saying word for word the things she's saying. I'm giving my own 2 cents based off of that topic. So then I do my own research and I come up with it on my own. I would not suggest just word for word copying any of these videos. Okay? Please, hear me out. I'm not suggesting that at all. You use it as inspiration, as a template to give you ideas when you're struggling to come up with ideas. So some days when I'm just too tired to come up with ideas, I go over to TikTok and I do a search like that. One of my top videos this past week was all about a topic that I pulled from that. A different take on agitating your prospects. That actually worked really well over on Instagram. Right here, it popped over the thousands. A different take on agitating your prospects. The algorithm gives you more views based on how many people are watching all the way through your video. So you know that a video is doing well. Instagram's a good basis on that. Has better analytics than TikTok. And I kind of go based off of Instagram because I think it's better for coaches and trainers. You're able to look at those analytics and I'm able to see, okay, that topic connected with people better. And so I got that topic from watching a video. I actually disagreed with the video that I watched. So I gave my opposite take on the video that I saw. And that gave me an idea of what to talk about in my video content. So I hope that this has given you some really great insight on ways that you can come up with ideas to connect with your customer. Watch through some of my video content. That's going to give you some great ideas on how I use videos as a coach, as a trainer. As well, there's 2 pages I want you to follow. Brock 11 Johnson, on Instagram, and how he does video content. He literally teaches you how to make organic Instagram video content, okay? So like he's actually way better at this than I am. Check him out, okay? And then on TikTok, I want you to go check out Rachel Peterson, the Mrs. Peterson. She is the queen of TikTok content, way better than I am at making TikTok content. And watch how they make their content. Okay, so watch my content, watch Rachel Peterson's, and watch Brock Johnson's. Rachel Peterson for TikTok, I prefer her over there, and I prefer Brock Johnson for Instagram because they're kind of experts in their own way on those 2 platforms. They're a little bit different, okay? And that's going to give you a really cool baseline for what to share, who to connect with. By the way, give me a shout out if you're watching their content. Be like, I'm here because of Jeremy Crack, and tag me in their content, okay? Let them know that I'm letting people know about them. And you're going to learn, you're going to be able to connect with and the dots of how you talk to your target customer and how you make really good videos on social media. All right, everybody? So listen, if this has helped you, share this episode with somebody. Check out some of the courses on my website. If you want to work with me, some one-on-one coaching, head on over to my website, jeremykrakowski.com. Schedule a free 45-minute discovery call with me if you want one-on-one coaching. We can talk about that again. My coaching is going to start on June 1st in just a couple of days. $10,000. Got just a couple days after this podcast is actually released. I'm raising the price to $10,000. So the monthly payments will be what's $10,000? I think it's like $1,667 for 6 months. 12 sessions of Zoom coaching. We can work together one-on-one to help you grow your business. If you want a trial of Jasper, it's over at my website right here as well at the top here to try out Jasper, and I'll put it in the description of this episode. So we'll talk soon, everybody. Grow your life. Have a good one.